I love this stuff. You're a synth. Wait, steal from my own mailbox? I'm gonna invest in science because I need one more. I need one more rank. Can you stack them?
Hey.
I'd be happy to help. I trust you've completed your business with Jezebel. I hope she wasn't too difficult.
She's insane. Said she...
That logic.
Sure.
I hope you would...
I need to outfit a robot with something.
A custom modification. As for my task, I would...
Let's like get like a nice pipe rifle, right? Never mind.
able to decrypt the signal with the final radar beacon. The source, it's time to... I have...
Mm-hmm.
December.
No.
No.
No. Not now.
Let's get you examined right away. Time.
See what's...
Tell me your symptoms.
Just... hurt all over.
I've seen worse.
Sure.
That look though.
Hold on. Any other complaints?
That was it.
Take better care of yourself in the future, right?
Hey, try not to get herpes next time.
You need this paper. Everything on the...
Free paper? Sounds like quality.
I'm serious. It's...
The...
Wait, heard of it. It's all on the paper.
I believe you.
You are a real lost lamb in the wolf.
And now I need to make a walk over to Hangman's LE. Mm-hmm. I think that my biggest hate of survival is not being able to fast travel, but that I can get over that. My biggest dislike is the fact that stuff takes so long to respawn. Yeah, this thing looks ugly as hell. You look ugly and you look weak. But one day, you are going to be an extremely powerful machine. I promise. I have a good idea. Jerky Jez. Your name is Jerky Jez. Deal with it.
Hey,
How may I be of service?
I think it's better if we just go through the city part and then we just swim. The world? And I'm just sitting down. You travel like this, you really just think to yourself a lot. It's like, I love apocalypse games. They need to make more of these games. You know what? It's like walking gets annoying, but like the more you do it, like the more you kind of get used to it. I'm doing pretty good for my first survival playthrough. There have been some bumps, some hiccups, and some oopsies, but overall, I'm doing pretty good. I think it's like the struggle is to get the Overseer's Guardian, but once you do that and you slap some riflemen and some good mods onto it, you're good. For the most part. And you just gotta get some good armor. I think the ballistic weave is helping me out a lot as well. Oh, guys, I forgot to say. You wanna know what I found in my basement? Oh my goodness! Look at that! Oh hell! I'm not leaving that behind. That's ballistic. That's ballistic fiber. My goodness. Nice. And ironically, it's in a trash can. Dude, that doesn't need to be there. That's good. That is very good. Yeah, water looks like it's like a meter higher than it should be. Like a yard or two. Probably in Fallout, the ice caps probably melted. But I kind of imagine Fallout's world as cold. Like if you went swimming, the water would be like 40 degrees. It'd just be... Oh, we need to be careful. There's a shit ton of ghouls there. Must be careful of Mirelurks. Now hopefully I should get some pretty good extended weight carrying capacity because I just put away 3,000 bullets of 32. Or no, 38. That got me off by surprise. If you guys ever see me like avoid places, it's not because I'm really scared to interact with them. It's because I kind of actually yes and no. I don't want to interact because I will die. I don't want to interact because I think I'll ruin it. Because usually areas like that, if I could probably save the robots with stealth. Hey, buddy.
Easy living. This ain't.
I saw a death call once. It was far away. But I saw it.
Hi there.
Well, that's gross. Working on a farm? You better not cause any trouble. Am I ever glad to see you?
Glad to help out.
A pack of feral ghouls is one.
Not a problem.
Wait, guys, they want me to, Oh, yes, that's easy. I could do that. Not now, but I will. There's a... What do you call it? There's a stingray up here. Yep, there it is. It's upside down. It's a plane. Dude, I had a nightmare the other day of us getting nuked and planes falling from the sky. I don't know why I just randomly say that, but like, dude, that, can you imagine it? Like that, it was hell. I'm like, bruh, how did I survive? There it is. Unfortunately, we don't have the full set, but it's better than nothing. Let's get her home. I do know another spawn location. It's roughly right over here, but it's in the glowing sea. We won't be able to get to it with... I could use our hazmat suit, but I'd rather go in there with power armor, because if we use the hazmat suit, we gain full immunity from radiation, but we lose all of our armor. Only the torso and the leg. I know there's ghouls here. I really want to engage. I could do it. I could whoop all these ghouls' ass. But if I do that, I'll probably spend energy on my fusion core, and I don't need that right now. Add on to the fact that I have no other fusion cores, and I'll be screwed. I know pretty sure there's a generator on that island, but I still ain't taking my chances. I will return before the BOS comes back, and I will murder all these ghouls. I was about to say, I didn't even see the marker yet, but I'm like, yeah, this is the area where we need to be. I think this measly little baby shed that looks so unassuming could have such a massive base complex built underneath is just wild. Mara lurks. Sorry if I'm mumbling. I will say Fallout 76 has some good perks that this game doesn't have, like the junk perk that, you know, reduces your rate on junk. That'd be so useful. I have to give. Hey, come here.
Hey,
Yes. Hope you find what you're looking for.
On mark location, this area is radioactive. I love that sound, that gunshot sound. Ting! It's a great thing in power armor is you can't drink water.
Heads up. Take that weapon.
Bridge. Facing a question right now. Do I? Oh, okay. I just thought of something very, very important. Sorry, buddy. I can't be the only raider here. Unlike me, he's... Oh yeah, right, they're not on compass.
Heads up. Get that rifle.
I'll take care of it.
Grab that gun over there.
I'll get it done. There's no way I can reach that.
Look alive.
Looking to lighten your load.
Ow. That was clean though. I realized if I bring my power armor into the glowing sea, how the hell am I gonna bring my new set and my other power armor set out? I won't. So I'm gonna need probably go in with the hazmat suit. By the way, another thing I like about the Fallout show, no spoilers at all, except for maybe like one minor one, is power armor. When the guy gets in power armor, it shows exactly what you're seeing on screen, but like inverted, obviously. But like you, except for like the armor piece, like you could see like the HP meter and the AP meter. It's pretty cool.
May as well take what we can.
Go.
They won't be needing those
Grab anything useful.
No problem.
See, common sense.
This shouldn't take long.
Huh? Where am I getting? From there? Yep, you're gonna have to go.
by, see if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out.
I love that sound. I love the very special sound of like.
Over here. Hey.
Dude, why is my tops of my screen like green tearing?
Move along. Get on his side. You keep looking at me like that. I'm gonna start looking at a sin.
Really? I'm in power armor, although not full. Home sweet home. What? The military ain't gonna use this power armor no more. What would it look like if you put like XO1 on it? It actually looks pretty good with XO1 on it. That like blends perfectly in.
Remember, I don't serve sense. Supply
Let's see what you got.
a bit of everything.
Thanks, Tessa.
Radiation poisoning is a common ailment.
Yeah. See what's wrong with me, Doctor.
Tell me.
Got roughed up.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Doc. Now, was there anything else bothering
No, we're done.
you? All right.
Damn it.
No. No. No.
I just flipped that tree. Put a chocolate bar in my pocket. It's kind of like hard right now.
Careful, sir. I don't think we're alone. Opening fire. Your destruction is at hand.
Hey,
What can
come
I
on.
do for you?
could do with a spot of rain. Helped us in our most desperate hour, and for that,
Supervisor Green.
ready to begin your fabulous...
All right. Hey,
Let's take a look at what you've got.
Let's try and get this chocolate bar to warm up. I just noticed the music change.
I can rest easy knowing that Wolfgang is rotten.
let's see what you have.
A little bit of everything.
I'm coming back for you guys, don't worry. I'm gonna murk you. I know, I didn't fall for your trick. I knew your plan all along. That's why I'm going to murder you later.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm sorry. But the only reason I came here was for that box. Or that right there. I want to raid that place in style. Ooh, that helps. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Yeah?
again? Time to do that.
Carla,
You again. Here to trade?
let's see what you got.
You got a little...
Sure. Hey, Carla,
Hey there. Trading?
let's see what you got.
You breaking?
This unit is currently in factory deep unit.
Excuse me.
remaining In
Hey.
factory default mode.
Need something? The Minutemen could use someone like you. Another day in the combat.
I'm busy.
Things are tough. They'll get better.
Oh, I also had a nice idea the other day to start a water purification plant over by that one, like, you know, that one boathouse with all those bug bugs. That'd be a good idea. Wish I could have all my water shipped over to Diamond City or Hangman Valley, because if I did, I would be making too much buck, but I'd have to walk in between every single one. Sorry, but look at the udders just flopping. It's so weird. Love of purified water. I'm much. How does the world have power?
Welcome. Please gather round, Adam's Blessed, to this week's short lesson on what in Adam's name is going on with electricity in the world of Fallout. Have you ever gone into an old decrepit building, read some terminals, reprogrammed some defense turrets, snagged a fusion core, and while you're riding up the elevator to the top floor of a destroyed building, thought to yourself, what the hell is powering this thing? How are you able to do almost everything the pre-war people could 200 years after the world was nuked and left to rot? I sure have, and as a result, I combed through the games and online resources to get to the bottom of this question. I found some answers, some more questions, and a nice pile of conjecture as well. Let's first consider several ways that both small and large settlements in Fallout could source and use their power. The first option is that they just don't have any. It is the post-apocalypse after all, and not having any sort of electricity would probably be very common. Alternatively, settlements could be powered, or at least partially powered, using energy storage, whether that be a fission battery, fusion cells, or some other source. These can maybe be taken somewhere and charged, or swapped out when they are dead during the normal course of trading. Power like this would likely be for personal use and wouldn't be able to power anything very large. It is also possible for settlements to have their own power generation devices. Windmills, solar cells, combustion generators, or what have you, can provide power to an entire settlement, or at least several homes. This setup could also be augmented by people using energy storage devices for small personal things. Lastly, we have a situation where a settlement draws all or most power from existing pre-war power networks, in addition to maybe making their own power or using some sort of
About the secret power network underground in Fallout
games and see if some of their communities fall into these categories. Completely unpowered settlements of note would include Shady Sands in the first Fallout and Arroyo in Fallout 2. In fact, most good examples of completely unpowered settlements seem to be from the first two Fallouts. Nothing in either settlement hints towards them using electricity, and there doesn't appear to be any electrically powered equipment or anything that would need to be charged. Likewise, the Great Khan Camp in Red Rock Canyon is similarly powerless in New Vegas, as is the settlement Oasis in Fallout 3. Small settlements, usually in dark places like subways or caves, can be mostly powerless, with some lights being powered by batteries, although these are typically very small communities. Junktown may be a larger example of this, since there is no indication of anything else being powered except for a neon sign in Gizmo's place. I don't count slot machines as necessarily being electrically powered, since they could conceivably be fully mechanical. There's no generator seen in Junktown, and if all you needed power for was a neon sign, a generator might be kind of overkill. For communities with their own power source, vaults are a great example, whether they still have their original occupants or new ones entirely. Likewise, settlements like Rivet City uses an old nuclear reactor from the aircraft carrier. The boomers at Nellis Air Force Base use a combination of solar and biodiesel, and Diamond City is powered by power noodles, and I mean that in every way. People power their bodies with noodles, and the stand itself is built around a large generator with power lines running to all the other buildings. It seems that once communities reach a sufficient size, then they can put together the resources to build their own reactor, or fix up an old one. Lastly are the settlements that are powered by pre-war power networks, the best example of which is probably the Strip, who gets its power from Hoover Dam, like it did before the war. There is a big gray zone, however, with Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 in particular, where some settlements get their power from a source that cannot be identified visually. No generators or batteries, and therefore the possibility of tapping into pre-war systems seems to be the only option. Now I know what many of you may be thinking. How could power stations still be working after so much time has passed? If the power plants look anything like the rest of the buildings in Fallout 3 and 4, I'm sure they're ready to cave in at any
Thanks,
moment.
Ada.
Well, let's save that for a little later, and just all pretend like having power plants work for 200 years without human intervention is just a normal thing, okay? Fallout 3 sets a precedent that up until its release was not ever explicitly stated, implied, or really even thought of. A terminal entry from a ghoul scientist in Fallout 3 mentions that she was able to tap into the underground power lines that were live. This is not a one-off thing either, as she states that if you know where to look, they are buried all over the wasteland. So there is power to be had from the old power networks, and that power is enough, at least in this case, to power a satellite array. The infamous subways have all sorts of lights and signs still lit up after all this time, showing that this power is coming from somewhere, and is most likely the old network. No large generators are found in the subways, similar to what we can see in the vaults, and smaller generators that Wastelanders sometimes use are also absent in the subways, except for where Wastelanders have made impromptu living spaces. These are the generators that can be found in Fallout 3, and in the game files are labeled clearly as generators. These things, however, are also found all over the place, but are not called generators. Rather, they are called Electrical Box 01. What are these? That is a good question, and their presence in the capital wasteland is the best evidence we have for a vast pre-war network that is mostly, but not always, underground and still alive. So after getting an electrical engineering degree from the University of Wikipedia, I experimented a bit with these electrical boxes in the classic Fallout 3 style, and by that I mean I just started shooting them. It was a remarkably effective investigative technique, and I highly recommend it. What I found is that these electrical boxes blow up quite nicely, start on fire, spark, and show us something interesting. 3 large coils of wire are exposed, which, from my highly qualified and fresh education, is indicative that these are transformers. These wouldn't be found in a generator, so that is off the table. Although the super mutant behemoth trapped behind an electrified fence makes you think that these electrical boxes are generators, since destroying it kills the electricity. This is important because look on the sides and look where these pipes go. They go into the ground. They are fed power from the old underground network and then send the transformed power into other underground power lines. Very much like the ground transformers that are found all over neighborhoods, often in those very large green cases. Look at a place like Evergreen Mills, and you will see several of these all outside the facility. And upon going inside, we find several powered objects, including terminals, signs, and lights, with no other obvious power source. So where are these power sources then? Well, in Fallout 3, we are not aware of any power plants in the base game. Yes, there are substations, but those aren't generating power. We don't know of any real power plants until Broken Steel added the only power works. A power plant that presumably always existed and was just blocked by ruins and debris until the events of Broken Steel takes place. We don't know how this power plant generates power, but given the very long time between the Great War and Fallout 3, assuming it is nuclear powered is reasonable. This example of a previously unknown power plant becoming accessible is probably not a one-off. And areas such as Washington, D.C. very likely had fortified, possibly even buried power plants to help ensure that any kind of attack would have difficulty knocking out the region's power. It is important to acknowledge as well that the infrastructure was massively damaged in Fallout 3, and with it, the power network. There are many buildings that don't have a single functioning light, and some buildings even show partial functionality. The Statesman Hotel that Riley's Rangers get stuck on have some lights that work inside the building.
Alright, that
However,
looks so much
the
better.
elevator,
I
which is
love
their
it.
key to escaping does not work, and the player needs to get a fission battery to allow it to operate, which could indicate that even parts that may have power may not be getting enough electricity for power-intensive machinery to operate. Fallout 4 has some similarities to Fallout 3, namely in that there are many areas with no obvious power sources. The Commonwealth, however, was quite different in its power networks, as it appears that a lot of effort went into decentralizing the power grid. Mass Fusion was the largest power supplier in the Commonwealth, and there is a lot to be said about this company that I'll have to save for another video. Suffice it to say that the company was known in the pre-war for generating power not through fusion,
You again.
but through conventional fission methods, through the so-called plutonium wells and small junction boxes that were installed in people's homes. The plutonium wells appear to be isolated solely to Concord, and are seen attached to buildings with wires running off of them to power the entire town. How they
I
work
think I've
is not
seen plutonium
exactly
wells
known. However,
everywhere
Mass
else.
Fusion insisted to the public that all these technologies were fusion power and not fission based. Even though the name of some of their technology, like the plutonium well, literally has the word plutonium in it. Pre-war corporate America was taking advantage of the awful education standards, since apparently no one knows the difference between fusion and fission anymore. This fission technology worked, although it made people sick from all the radiation given off, and caused Mass Fusion to perpetrate crimes against the environment as they secretly dumped all the radioactive waste wherever they could hide it. We don't know what these distribution boxes look like, but it seems as though they had the ability to power individual homes, since they are referred to as being in or on people's homes. In addition to these decentralized forms of power, Mass Fusion provided conventional centralized power that fed substations throughout the Commonwealth. This was presumably done using fission power again, because it wasn't until the moments leading up to the Great War that their fusion project was successfully running. It is also worth mentioning that Poseidon Energy also had power plants running in the area, and there are remnants of a nuclear plant that can be found in the glow, where it was destroyed in the large nuclear blast seen in the game's tutorial level. Could these power plants be operational enough that they are providing some power to much of the Commonwealth? That's certainly possible. Are the plutonium wells still functioning and providing power? This is hard to say, but there are areas of Concord that show the use of lights, so it seems that it is certainly possible. Are the household distribution boxes still working and providing power to individual buildings? Again, hard to say, but it is certainly possible. Fallout 4 has a lot more power infrastructure that is above ground than Fallout 3, with some
Okay,
massive...
guys. Let's do this. Oh, give me a second.
I hope you have additional fusion cores to spare.
Ada is literally the most helpful companion. I hope you have more fusion cores. Look at that! That's a good companion. See, look, good job, Ada. I actually was thinking about breaking fusion cores. Look, we got 3. You know what? You know what, Ada? I'm gonna do something smart. We're gonna take you out, and we're gonna put you in. Yoink! And after that, I do that. Yeah. I absolutely love Ada's personality. Like, I hope you bring some fusion cores to that. Like, Brett, good job. I actually is gonna bring that. Like, we both think alike.
Power lines and towers that can be seen in some places. The clearest indication that these various plants are still providing at least some power can be seen when examining some of the power lines. Sparks can be seen jumping from the end of broken power lines or truncated pylons, indicating that, yes, these power plants are still working, at least somewhat. So why do settlements go through all the trouble of building or fixing generators when they can just tap into some sweet free electron juice that, by all indications, seems limitless? Well, I think there are some hints, mainly from larger settlements, that would have higher power draw and therefore greater demand. Let's take Diamond City as an example, which has a large central power plant smack dab in the middle. Maybe it provides power because the existing pre-war systems are unreliable. I think that's pretty reasonable, but I actually think something else is more likely. Going back to the example of the Statesman Hotel in Fallout 3, where the elevator is not working, while several lights in the hotel do work. This could indicate that the existing system simply cannot provide sufficient power for power-hungry machinery. We know water purification happens in the Commonwealth, which is an energy-intensive process even in our world. And it is very possible that the existing power is insufficient to power heavier machinery, or really anything more demanding than lights, terminals, and small radios that are very commonly found. If you want a real-world example of this, splice your dryer to plug into a 120-volt outlet and see if it works. Just kidding. Please don't do this. You have power, but not enough to make it work as it should. Also, sorry to all the viewers outside the States who just use 220 volts for everything. Just ask your American friend to try this experiment out for you. So in order to run the machinery needed for these larger settlements, be they defenses, water purifiers, or what have you, these settlements cannot rely on pre-war power plants for all their electrical needs. These kinds of settlements that can easily tap into existing power lines, but instead opt for their own generators, are the greatest evidence that, yes, the pre-war power is there, but there are big limitations. So on the topic of power, it's time to talk about something I have wanted to touch on for a while now, and this is the perfect place to do so. Love them or hate them, fusion cores look like they are here to stay in the Fallout universe, and these paradoxical little dudes are again brought to you by Mass Fusion.
No! We found Absalon! Happened before. Ah!